Not yet.
Okay, wonderful. All
No,
right, so
you have to screen share.
Not here.
I'm sorry?
Okay. Looking at the wrong screen. That was my fault. It wasn't up there.
Let's scroll to the left on the screen.
Do you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, it's on.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. Mary, can you see it?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, wonderful. All right.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to try to condense my presentation a little bit. I'm just going to touch on staffing, our strategic plan, how we're doing year to date, some historical fatal collisions in Parablossom and overall. And then last meeting that we had in Little Rock, we talked about high school driver's education. I had some information on that. And then I wanted to bring forth some community outreach programs that we have for everyone. So as briefed before, we have 51 uniformed employees. At present, I have 1 vacant sergeant position, 1 vacant lieutenant position. The sergeant position has been identified, and we will get a local Antelope Valley area sergeant to return to us, and he will start June 1st. As for my lieutenant, I'm still hopeful that we will identify a lieutenant, and we will have that person in July 1. Our strategic plan, as we talked about a few times in the past, is to reduce overall fatal collisions. That's my primary objective. And some of the things that we're going to do to measure whether or not we're being effective or not is whether or not we can reduce the crashes by 10%, increase DUI arrests by 5%, increase our specialized enforcement units out there, our campaigns from 5 to 8 annually. That's a 60% increase. And then overall speed enforcement, we were hoping for a 10% increase. And then for seatbelt enforcement, we're hoping for a 15% increase. So how we're doing so far. Right now, everything looks fantastic as far as our enforcement, our proactive enforcement. And this is in our Antelope Valley area jurisdiction as a whole. Our speed enforcement is up 116%. The goal was 10. And our seatbelt enforcement is up 62.3%. Again, our goal was seatbelts. It's up 62%. I got to look back at our goal, but it's up significantly. Where we need to improve, if you see that big red negative number by DUI arrests, we're down about 20%. There's a couple of reasons that as we look internally as to why that might be. We believe that it could be because in the first quarter of last year, we were on tactical alert. All hands were on deck for various protests down in LA. Our officers didn't go to LA, so we just arrested more folks because we had more resources during that time frame. And additionally, our shifts now are somewhat filled with junior personnel with a year or less on the job, and they're still learning. And we're hoping that that number is going to increase as we proceed. If it does not by Q3, I'm going to look into adjusting resources to get an additional patrols on the night shift and see if that can't get us narrow the gap and get us to our desired goal. Moving forward, more specific to Parablossom itself, best available numbers show us for the quarter, first quarter, January to March 31st, 204 overall traffic tickets issued. 2 DUI arrests, 42 traffic citations for correctable violations, and the top 5 citations issued are both for either speeding, unlicensed, unregistered, or obstructed view. And when we talk about obstructed view, we're talking about tinted front side windows and tinted windshields themselves. Fatal traffic stats for the last few years. In 2022, overall for the Antelope Valley, we had 42 fatal traffic collisions. In 2025, that number increased to 47. That to me seemed like an alarming number. Our goal is to reduce it to 42. That's a 10% reduction. At present, we have 8 fatal traffic collisions for the Antelope Valley area, 0 in Parablossom. And of course, the goal for Parablossom is to continue with that trend at 0. In the last meeting, we talked about high school driver education. This is the one, a recent meeting that we just had in Little Rock. And there was an idea brought forth that maybe the budget cuts eliminated high school driver education in California public schools. in 1994 was somehow linked to an increased number of traffic collision rates among teen drivers. And I did some research, and what I found was there is nothing really clearly supporting that claim. They said that education programs indicate little to no reduction in crashes per licensed driver. So when we compare California teens to teens in other states that have these driver education programs, there's nothing really concrete to support that claim. What the research does support is that the bigger crash risk factors for teens are behavioral, not instructional. So poor driver skills account for about 10%. The remaining 90% is attributed to inexperience, immaturity, risk perceptions, overestimation of driving skill, and risk-taking behavior. What has worked in California thus far is California implemented a graduated driver license system that took place in July of 1998. Basically, that's a provisional driver's license. And then fatal and severe traffic crash rates were significantly lowered in the preceding couple of years following that change. So California's current standing. California does lead the nation with 523 fatality crashes involving teen drivers. That stat is from 2022. It is the highest absolute number, but also we have to realize that that reflects the size of the state and the populace of the state. I thought some other, the bottom line is the graduated driver license, which is basically the provisional license, and supervised practice hours have reduced teen crashes far more effectively than traditional classroom driver education. The elimination of school-based driver ed in 1994 is historically notable, but the evidence does not cleanly support linking it to mixed outcomes compared to other states. Some other considerations I thought were important when we talk about overall crash statistics, which I'm gonna share with you in just a second, is the fact that in the Antelope Valley, our population has increased 150% since 1994. It was about 222,000. It is now 325,000. The number of registered vehicles in the Antelope Valley, it's not very clean. It's not like I can run those numbers based on zip codes on how many registered vehicles there are. However, if you just go along with the idea that if the Antelope Valley grew by 150% and California maintains dependencies on vehicles, registered vehicles almost certainly grew in a similar or greater rate. So with the super commuter community that we have and commuting out to the greater Los Angeles area, we know that it's going to increase along with the population. State Route 14 traffic volume has nearly doubled since the 1990s. Currently, every day, 169,000 vehicles travel the 14 freeway. SR 138, the traffic volume increased enough for Caltrans to undertake a $68.2 million project to widen 18.5 miles of the 138 from Avenue T to Highway 18 from 2 lanes to 4 lanes. And it was a Little Rock community that expressed some concerns that widening might cause vehicles to drive too fast and then maybe not even stop for the local businesses. Here's some historical crash statistics. I went back 10 years. And if you look at these stats, on the column number 1, it's 100 SR 138 crashes specifically. And then on the right, it's the total crashes overall, and then a monthly average of the total crashes in the center. So if you look, since 2016, collisions have increased 19% annually and monthly. If you go back to 2015, I noticed that steep increase. 2015 was a good year. Only 49 recordable collisions were taken on the 138, and overall 1,269 total collisions taken in the Antelope Valley area. On SR 138 specifically, the increase of 27% in crashes since 2016 and 147 increase since 2015. So you see that 1 year, depending on how you look at it. If we look at a 9-year average, there's only a small increase, but if you look at that 2015, those lower statistics really increase the percentages. Lastly, I just wanted to briefly touch on some of the programs that we offer to the communities for teen drivers, teens in general, all the way up to our older roadway users. Primarily, we talked about Start Smart. It's a program aimed at teen drivers with their parents. We talk about defensive driving. We show that a video. It's a pretty graphic video, but it's necessary. It's called Red Asphalt. And basically what we try to communicate is that up until this point, before someone gets their driver's license, poor decision making might result in them being grounded or something being taken away from them. But poor decisions behind the wheel do result in the loss of life. And I think it's important for parents and teen drivers to get the same message. Along with that, we talk about this provisional driver's license, what the rules are. So the teens can't come home and tell the parents that it's something different than it actually is. They both hear the message at the same time. One of the questions was asked, like, hey, is this a program we can take to Little Rock or Pear Blossom? Because some of our folks aren't going to be able to get out to Lancaster to the area office. I talked to my public information officer. He is on the line listening. He has told me that, hey, what he really needs is just a room, a projector, and he can plug in his laptop. And as long as we have the names of the students and the parents ahead of time, we can print certificates for those who attend and pass the class. So we can take this on the road. So as long as the community comes together and we find a room, we've got those resources that we need and we can fill classes, we'll do it as reasonably necessary. There's other programs that we have, like Right Turn. It's just about choices and consequences. And then we have programs related to seatbelt enforcement and child passenger safety, all the way up until Age Well, Drive Smart, where we take those older roadway users and we provide them necessary information to help them safer and stay on the road longer. So with that, I hope I didn't speed read through this. I'm just I'm mindful of everyone's time. If anyone has any questions, please let me know, and I will try to somehow give this meeting back to you.
I have one question for you, Cap.
Yes.
When you talk about, like, you were giving us those numbers about the deaths and those 10 years of when you talk about the Pear Blossom section, obviously that's the 138 and maybe what stems off of that. Is that starting like from a certain street to, like, say, county line or something like that? Like, do you have like I remember you talking about you had certain sections, like a kind of a Little Rock section, a Pear Blossom section. Do you know where those start?
Correct. Yeah. So if I go back, I'm looking at the screen you're talking about. If I go back and this particular presentation is geared towards Pear Blossom, so that's beat 43. So any specific statistics that I talked about tonight are Pear Blossom specific. Okay. Those violation counts, the crash counts, all of that is the 138 in Pear Blossom. And that would be so 42. So for instance, Little Rock is from Avenue T to 106th Street, and then from 106th Street to, I believe, 165th Street. Officer Talavera, correct me if I'm wrong. And then after 165th Street to the county line is basically the last beat.
Correct. You got it. That's spot on.
Right on.
Okay. Well, that's my only question. Anyone in the audience here have a question for the captain? Okay, that's it. Don't forget to give me the host back.
All right, I'm going to try. Does anybody know how to do it?
I do appreciate seeing more enforcement on the 138.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get out that much, but when I do, I almost always see a CHP now, and I do appreciate it.
Well, we are making a concerted effort to ensure that we're out there as often as possible. And like I've also said in the past, we have not only do we have the dedicated officer that is out there every day working, we also have that specially marked patrol vehicle that's kind of incognito. We're getting that vehicle out there on the 138 as well. So if it's not out there daily, it's out there every other day. And that officer is doing a bang up job making
It's not hard to do in this area.
I would tend to agree with you. I try to share that sentiment to the team on a daily basis.